Alright guys, so in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how you guys can take your game from looking like this to looking like this. Okay, this version is much more saturated, the colors pop a lot more, and it's overall just much more appealing to the eyes. And this is all on console, okay? This is all on PlayStation or Xbox. This is perfect for either way. This is going to help you guys on both of those platforms. So with that being said, before we actually get into the tutorial, I do want to let you guys know that there are 3 ways you can actually change the color settings in your game. There are kind of like exterior ways as well, but these all are going to be included in today's tutorial. I'm going to show you guys everything that I do to actually get my game to look the way it does. Alright guys, so for the sake of the video, I went ahead and turned off all my filters to the video. There's no filters on this video right now. This is pure just raw PlayStation gameplay, as you guys can probably recognize the way it looks. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what you guys can do in game to actually change the way your game looks and allow it to look more like PC players do. A lot more smoother, a lot more colorful, and all that good stuff. So first things first, guys, we want to go ahead and slide over to the colorblind type. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of this before, but this actually does work depending on your monitor or your TV screen. If you kind of play around with some of these colors, they actually can make the game look a little bit better. I used to use this one. I'm not going to try to pronounce that because I always butcher it. You guys can try this one out. This actually was the one that worked best for me. And I would just put the colorblind target on world, okay? Don't put it on interface, because if you put it on interface, it's going to make it to where, you know, the color of the names of your teammates are going to be different colors, and you're not going to be able to call out your pings with the colors. So I wouldn't recommend putting it on both or interface. I would recommend just putting it on world. Also, guys, motion blur also, like, I don't know, a lot of new players leave this on. I don't know why. It really makes it hard for you to track your enemies, and it makes it a lot more blurry and just meshy. It looks a lot more crispier and clear if you actually have weapon motion blur off on both of these. Now, as you guys see, after we actually turned on Tritanopia, yeah, I think I pronounced it right. After we turn that on, it looks like the game looks a lot more colorful in a certain way. It sort of has a red tint to it, but the colors do pop a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and load into Hackyard to show you guys the differences between all the objects inside there. So as you guys can see, things are looking a little bit different. I wouldn't necessarily say they look better, but they do look a little bit different. Obviously, for me, I'm so used to playing on the saturation that I have that this kind of looks bad. It kind of looks weird for me, but this might look better for you guys. So it all depends on what your monitor is like. If your monitor is a certain way, then this actually might look better to you than it would to me. But this is pretty much all you guys can do, like in game, in order to fix or to change your, color settings. Through the console. At least on PC you can do a lot more, but for console we're limited, so that's about all you can do when it comes to colorblind. So honestly, I'm going to turn this back to disabled, and I'm going to show you guys another way that you guys can actually make your game look a lot better that is actually not in game. All right guys, so this next method is actually going into your TV or your monitor settings. Okay, so what you can do, most people that have a TV, obviously you guys play on some sort of screen.
What is that?
You guys can go into your TV settings or your monitor settings. You guys can actually increase the saturation and the sharpness from there. Okay, so it won't actually look better like in the game, but from your screen it will look a whole lot better. Okay, trust me, there are a lot of presets that come with these TVs and monitors that allow you guys to have more color, have a lot more color, more saturation, more color vibrance. Sometimes they name it different things, but I definitely recommend you guys do that. That's one of the best ways to actually make your game look a lot better. Now, the best way you guys can actually do this is by going into your menu settings and going to your picture settings or something like that. And it should be around there where it shows brightness, sharpness, color vibrance, gamma sometimes. Definitely play around with those settings to your liking. Like I said, everyone uses a different monitor. Everyone has a different TV. So this might look, a little different for you. I'm not going to give you guys any exact, measurements or any exact proportions of how much saturation you should have. Because like I said, I don't know what your TV looks like. So I can't really tell you guys the best way. I know for I just bumped mine up to 20. I just bumped mine all the way up to maximum saturation, and honestly the game looks really, really good for me. All right, so with that being said, we got the monitor way out the way, we got the colorblind target out the way. There is one more way you guys actually can change the way your game looks, and this is the way that I actually use the most, which is kind of special. This is going to require some hardware that you might already have or you may have to purchase in order to do this. But guys, what I actually use to make my game look the way it does is a Elgato capture card. Okay, now a lot of people actually don't know this, but when you're actually using an Elgato capture card, you actually can go ahead and go into your settings on your PC. You can change the way your Elgato sees the game, and when you actually change that for your Elgato, it changes that for your screen as well. So not only does your Elgato or your computer see the game more saturated, but you do as well, like in real time as you're playing. So if you guys do have some sort of Elgato capture card lying around, maybe you guys were a streamer one day, maybe you guys used to, record games on your PlayStation a long time ago. If you guys have one of these things, I definitely recommend it. I have a lot of friends that have had these just sitting around collecting dust, and they had no idea of what it can actually do for them in game. So I definitely recommend, if you guys want to go ahead and make your game look a lot better, definitely do that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys right now the difference between the game right now and when I actually have my Elgato filters on. All right, guys, welcome to my computer. Okay, this is actually my computer right here. This is where I actually see all my Elgato settings. And as you guys can see here, if we actually go up to here to the little settings wheel, we go to our picture. You guys can see we get a little bit of filters we can actually put on the game. And right here, I just do this. You see this bar? I just yeet that over there. And as you guys can see, look at the difference, guys. Look at the difference. Huge difference when it comes to the way it looks. It's a lot more saturated. Colors pop a lot more. If I turn this back down, as you guys can see, the game kind of dies out a little bit more. It kind of looks like dead colors to me, so that's why I actually bumped that thing all the way up to the top. And like I said, this actually does make a difference on your screen as well. Like, this is exactly what your TV would look like, or your monitor if you're actually playing. It would look this colorful. I don't know why, and I never knew that I actually did that until I actually purchased it. But like I said, it's such a cool feature to be able to have, to be able to like look at the game this colorful. So I definitely recommend it. Alright guys, and the last thing I actually do to make the game look the way it does for you guys is I play around with some of the brightness, with some more saturation, things like that within my OBS filters. If you guys have a computer, if you guys want to make your gameplay look better for your viewers, you guys can go, just go into whatever you want. Let's just say this was an Elgato, right? Let's say this is your Elgato tab. You can just press this, go to filters, and it will show you a bunch of different filters that you guys can put on this. Color correction, color key, all this kind of stuff, sharpen. A lot of those are great ways to actually make your game look a lot more appealing to your audience. And that's pretty much what I just did. That's literally it. I have no other way of actually like changing my color settings for my videos and for my gameplay. So that's pretty much all I do right there. Some of you guys may be saying, hey Duper, the game doesn't look the way it did when you showed us in the first. That is because I actually did not turn my OBS filters back on. As you guys can see, remember in the beginning, I actually turned them off. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn them back on right about now. And as you guys can see, bam, just an instant difference within the game's, the way it looks and everything like that. It looks a lot better. But like I said, I actually don't see the game like this. I don't actually see the game like this part. I see the game more so of how it was before, more like this. So the game's, it still looks good. And like I said, I have settings on my monitor as well. So my monitor helps this look even better. Okay, I have more settings on my monitor. I have brightness settings, saturation settings, gamma settings I have on my monitor to make it look pretty close to the way this looks. Doesn't look exactly like that though, but it looks really similar. So that's pretty much all I do, guys. I hope this helped all of you guys that are wondering how I actually get my game to look so good. And I hope you guys do have Elgato, because it is a great way to do it. If you guys don't, then I do apologize for that. But like I said, monitor settings are almost as effective as Elgato. Okay, like if you have a good monitor or a good TV that has a lot of settings, then most of you guys will be able to actually achieve a certain look, or the look that you may be looking for with your gameplay. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one.